All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Blessings to everybody in the name of Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah. I pray you and your family are super blessed, even if you're not religious. Guys, Bitcoin right now, what is going on? Are we getting a fake out of this symmetrical triangle? Are we about to go to Pump City? Or are we simply getting a back test of this triangle? Are we going to dump down a little bit more? Now, I know everybody who shorted the breakdown of this triangle, you guys have been sitting here at the charts all day. Come on, go down, go down. It's not going down. What's going on? It's like when you go to the bathroom at your friend's house because their wife gave you some food and it didn't sit right, and all of a sudden you got diarrhea at your friend's house. You're going to the bathroom, stinking it up, and now you flush the toilet and it just keeps on rising. You want it to go down. What is going on? We're going to be getting into it right now, guys. We got our plungers in hand. All right, we are ready for the dump. We are ready for the dank pump. All right, shout out to everybody in chat. We're chilling out right now with the Zevia ginger ale, green screen, green soda can, baby. We are long, we are short, we are ready to go. We're going to be looking at the altcoins. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500 about to hit a new all-time high. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of different things today, so make sure to like the dang stream because we have 300 people in here, and I know if we get 1,000 people in here, we could probably get about 1,000 likes up in here. And if we get 1,000 likes in the first 30 minutes of streaming, we will absolutely be giving away 1,000 USDT. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to my man Drew. Did dude just put a plunger on his face? Hope to Almighty that it's clean. It's only been used 3 times, all right? The 3-time rule. If you don't know about that, better Google it, all right? You know, I even drink out of this thing. There's nothing like the taste of ginger ale mixed with old plunger used 3 times. Shout out to Sean Vieira. Shout out to Aaron G. He says, wait for Monday's range to form and we can plan accordingly tomorrow. Words of wisdom in the house, baby. Shout out to Gary Lab Anter. Shout out to Goldie Crypto. Shout out to David of 54. Shout out to Ash. Shout out to Nem. Shout out to Blockchain Cowboy. What is going on, Blockchain Cowboy? Shout out to Brandon Keys. What is going on, my man? What is going on? The most jacked man in the YouTube chat, besides maybe Aaron G. You guys might have to battle it out. Shout out to CD. Shout out to Crypto Carnage. I want along, but I'm procrastinating. Shout out to Fling Book. Shout out to Crypto Coons holding it down with the wrench, my man. Shout out to Cohen Goldmon. He says, let's go. That's right, Fing Book. Ginger ale for sure, right? Who knows what I'm drinking? Who even knows what it is, guys? Shout out to J Money. Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to Jasek Gola. He says, yes, I made it to the beginning of the stream. Much love from Norway, Jason. Much love to you, Jasek. All right, guys. Gonna give it a few seconds for some people to drop in here. In the meantime, guys, let me know. Let me know what you think. I did make a poll. All right? I did make a poll. Was this drop a fake out to the downside? In other words, was this triangle breakdown simply just a fake out? Are we now about to pump up to 45,000 plus USDT or USD, depending on what you like better, USD or USDT? We're going to be getting into it, guys. As you see, we did, in fact, get a little drop to the downside here. As we came to the downside, notice what is happening on good old-fashioned Market Cypher B, right? I do want to bring to your attention that on Market Cypher B, we do have a combination of things going on. First of all, as the price formed a low that we put in right here, okay? Formed a low right here. This is the hourly time frame, by the way. We took that low and then we closed the candle above that low. When we take a look at Market Cypher B, you can see that as the price is getting that lower low, Market Cypher B is making a higher low, forming a very, very nice uneven butt cheek pattern. A very juicy left cheek. This is a classic uneven butt cheek pattern, all right? UEBCP, we call it. UEBCP, uneven butt cheek pattern with a very juicy left butt cheek, a very skinny right butt cheek, classic textbook right here. And not only are we getting the uneven butt cheek pattern, but we can also see the money flow is in fact getting higher over time. This is a pretty bullish divergence. And the question is, are we going to see Bitcoin come back into the range and start to pump to the upside? Okay, because when we look at this, and when we zoom out right here, we can see that we are pretty much range bound, right? I would consider us range bound. Like we said yesterday, the low around $41,000, the high around $44.4 thousand. Right here, simply ranging sideways. And here's the thing, guys. We have been waiting in limbo as we've been watching altcoins go to Pump City, but look at this. We are perfectly holding the value area low of this range, and this really is the make it or break it moment for Bitcoin. Because if we can come above this high volume node at around $41,200, not only is it the high volume node, but if we take the fib from the last high to the last low, we can see clearly that it is also the local Fibonacci Golden Pocket 786 retest here. This really is a make it or break it, in my opinion, for Bitcoin, because we are either coming for a backtest, a beautiful, perfect textbook backtest of the breakdown of a triangle, or we are going to fake out, because look, if we come above this level, then we have officially now flipped what used to be resistance into support. Why do I say? Because look at this, high volume node right here, high volume node, boom, support, resistance, consolidation, support, 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 support. All right, we are coming right now to the make it or break it zone for the Bitcoin price. And look, we have to admit as well, we've been unable to really make a lower low here. We've been unable to really make a lower low here. So this could be, it could be a fake out, okay? It could be a fake out. Now let's entertain a few different scenarios, how we plan to trade this. First of all, where have we come from, right? By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got about 600 people in here, 100 likes. We have about 24 minutes. If we can get 1,000 likes in the next 24 minutes, we are going to be giving away 1,000 USDT. I'm going to take it right from this long trade that I'm in right now. All right, $5,000 profit. I will give away 1,000 of that profit to one of you beautiful people out there in the land of YouTube. So remember, where have we come from? We have to understand Bitcoin for the past few days, for the past few weeks, ranging, but we did make a pretty nice high here, right? In fact, of all the highs that we've made in the past few months, I would say this is actually the nicest looking high that Bitcoin has made in quite some time. We came up to the level, and then we basically did a stop hunt, right? We made that first high, and then we came in for the stop hunt right over here. And when we came in for the stop hunt, when we look at market cipher B, we were in fact printing the ultra bearish Sam Bankman-Fried upside down a man boot pattern. Go ahead and just post this, plaster this onto the chart. We can see how beautifully it actually lines up. Wow. Wow, talk about confluence right there. The money flow getting lower, the momentum waves getting lower as we made that high. The short setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, the short setup, the short trade actually, that I'm currently still holding right now, currently in some pretty juicy profits, as you can see, still have not closed the trade. We made that nice high, and then what happened? Well, we got our first drop to the downside, right? And we actually started to change market structure because we were in an uptrend, a low, a high, higher, low, higher, 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 high, right? Well, then we came down here, we actually made our first lower low. All right, we made our first lower low. After we made our first lower low, what do? We come for a retest and we reject right from none other than the dreaded 618 Fibonacci and her older sister, the 786 Fibonacci, right? The 618 Fibonacci, my high school crush, the girl who I thought was into me, but really I was in the friend zone, right? This is before I went incel, this is before I went MGTOW, this is before I went red pill, right? I decided I'm done with women, I'm done. Us guys, we don't need women. Why don't we just do everything we do with women, but with other guys, or by ourselves? Life sounds way better that way. I'll work on myself, right? It's all about me, baby, right? She rejected me, boom, right from the 618, bam, purple candles flowing from my heart totally broken, smashed to smithereens, never had a girlfriend since. Now, we have to understand, this is a sign of a trend reversal, all right? When you make a high, and then you make a lower low, and then you make a lower high into your high school crush, the 618 Fibonacci, and she gives you the hand in the face, that actually is a sign of a trend reversal. And from that point, we started consolidating in this triangular pattern, where we are making lower highs, yet we also started making higher lows, okay? Now, look at what's happening literally right now. we have broken down from the triangle and we are coming back to flip this area of what used to be support now into resistance. Now, where would this target of the triangle take us? Right? All we do is we take the measured move from the high to the low, and then we go ahead and extend it from the breakdown, and we can see this is taking us right to $37,600. $37,600. This is a very, very, very key level here. All right. So just to recap, right? What happened? We came up high. We saw Sam Bankman-Fried hanging upside down. We got a move to the downside. We changed market structure. We came up. We got our heart broken by our high school girlfriend, Six Juanita. We went straight incel, never to have a girlfriend again. And now we're consolidating in a triangle, breaking down and retesting. And our target is down here at around 37,600. Now let's zoom out, because context is everything. All right, context is absolutely everything when it comes to technical analysis. Look at this. All right, let's just look and appreciate the juiciness of this chart. All right, Bitcoin was consolidating for a number of weeks underneath a very important area of resistance right around here, right around that $38,000 zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we tried to break out of this. The entire time we were forming higher lows like so, right, until finally the breakout. Now notice, after the breakout, we did not form any kind of consolidation along the way. We went up straight for 6 days in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, without getting any kind of retest, without any kind of consolidation, without any kind of support. And as we know, when that happens, more often than not, well, you would expect a retest to happen. And the next major support we have just so happens to be the retest zone and the target of the triangle. And, all right, if we take the fib from the low to the high, would you look at that? The golden pocket, the 618 Fibonacci. Now here's the thing. Yes, she broke your heart. Okay? Yes, now you're an incel, red pill for the rest of your life. Maybe you'll start a YouTube channel about growing a beard and how to be manly and stuff. I don't know. But here's the thing. Because you're in the friend zone, right? Because you're not a bad boy, but you're a good boy, she's going to be there to offer you support because you have things she wants, right? You're there in high school, you carry her books to class. You know what I'm saying? You let her copy your homework. So she will be there to offer a shoulder to cry on, to give you support, and then a big move to the upside. That is one very real possibility for Bitcoin. Now here's something else that we need to keep in mind. We go to Coinbase, all right? And on Coinbase, this is crazy because the exact level where we're expecting Six Juanita to offer us support in the friend zone is literally, as we can see here, the high volume node of the entire last bull market. Look at this. The highest volume node of the entire last bull market is the same place where our not girlfriend is going to be offering us a shoulder to cry on about how she rejected us. And not only that, guys, if we take a look at the Bitcoin futures chart, we know that we have that CME gap left to be filled right down here. Okay, a CME gap left to be filled right down here. Now, what is a CME gap and why is it so important? Well, the futures market, the traditional futures market, does not trade over the weekend. Because unlike us crypto degens who don't sleep and don't eat and don't go to the bathroom because we're stuck on the charts trading 24/7, these guys, they want to enjoy life. So they take the weekend off. They forget about the charts and the market closes for them. It's not like crypto, right? You try and take a dang Saturday off, all your alerts going off, Bitcoin pumping, Bitcoin dumping, altcoins exploding. No, in the futures market, it's not like that. These are normal human beings. And so they take time off, and so do the markets. So on Friday, when that candle closes, right, guess what? Bitcoin will still move while this futures market is closed. And then when this futures market opens again, if Bitcoin pumps to the upside, well, it will leave a gap in the chart. Okay, now more often than not, these gaps do get filled. All right, more often than not, these gaps do get filled. Now here's the thing. You can see that we got a big move up, and then we came down and we bounced from the top of the gap. All right, we bounced from the top of the gap, knocking at the door. All right, knocking at the door. Now here's the thing. If we make a lower low here, and we come inside of this gap, once we come inside the gap, it becomes very probable that we fill the gap. Okay, it's like single prints in a lot of ways, right? It's like the same kind of thing. Once we come inside here, it becomes very probable that we actually fill the gap. Because the futures people, they want to fill that gap, right? They're chilling there, they got the plunge. Come on, Bitcoin, go back down, fill the dang gap, you're pushing it down, trying to get it to go down the dang toilet, okay? And so that gap being filled, guess where it comes to, all right? Guess where it comes to? Would you even believe this? That same exact, right around that same exact Fibonacci golden pocket level, depending on where we pull this thing from, we could even get it to line up perfectly with that support resistance flip. Now, this is a great time to remind you guys that this is not financial advice, and I am definitely not a financial advisor. Okay? It's also a good time to remind you to like the dang video, because if we can get 1,000 likes within the next 15 minutes, we'll be giving away 1,000 USDT. All right? I am right now in these trades, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, $15,000 in profit. I will share this with you guys, all right, from the trade setup we gave in advance in the dang Casper Crew VIP Discord. If everybody likes the video right now. So we have a lot of confluence to the downside, guys, right? We have a lot of confluence to the downside as we are watching this triangle kind of break out and potentially get a little bit of a retest right here. But that's the thing. That is the thing, right? What's the thing, you ask? The thing is, if we in fact come back up now inside the range, we need to be aware that we have some other gaps to the upside right now. Look at this. We have a gap right now from Friday, the Friday close up here at 42,450, right? Friday closed there, Monday opened here. So right now we have things that could be pulling us to the upside. We have things that could be pulling us to the downside. And I would say this, when we take a look at what's going on right around here, once again, look at this, local golden pocket 618 right at the gap, and then for resistance and for support. So really, we should be looking and saying, instead of wondering right now, which way is the price going to go? Are we going to pump or are we going to dump? We should say, you know what? Why don't we just kind of wait it out? Maybe if we fill this gap and we get a rejection, then we can look to do something like this. Or maybe if we fill the gap, we could look for around this zone. Now, here's something else we really need to remember here. Okay? When we are looking at the daily time frame for Bitcoin, all right, when we are looking at the daily time frame on Bitcoin, we do not actually make a lower low on this chart until we come down to this area, all right, here, 37,500. We are not making a lower low until we lose that level. So that really means, guys, this chart is not bearish unless we start to lose 37,500. If we lose 37,500, we do need to be prepared for a bigger pullback to the downside, because all of this right here is just begging, in my opinion, to get retraced. It's begging to get retraced. There have been a lot of people irresponsibly long from October 23rd, 2023. If we lose 37,500, we could very easily trigger all these stop losses that people have been trailing under these lows and come back down to retest the mother of all supports. All right? This is the mother of all supports. Here's a picture of her. She looks like Janet Yellen with a toned midsection. She bought the 6-second abs as seen on TV. In 6 seconds, she trimmed her abs. Here's the problem with the 6-second abs. People say they don't work because spot reduction is not real. That's a lie. Spot reduction is real. Clearly, it worked for her. But she did nothing for the triple chin. And you can see by the bearish divergence market cipher B on her face that this mother of all supports is quite a ways away. In fact, if we just take our measuring tool right here, we can see, look at this. It's about a 24% move to the downside. Now, a lot of people are like, Jason, blasphemy. Bitcoin is in the bull market. We're never going to get a retracement ever. All right, you're just spreading FUD, you stupid YouTuber. In fact, you're probably shorting right now to get everybody to long, is what they say in the comments. Jason, you're just trying to get your followers to do the opposite of you, right? That's literally what people say. All right, but no, here's the thing. Look, if we come down to the Janet Yellen level, right around $31,000, right? This is like the most beautiful support resistance flip in the world. This could be the long opportunity of a lifetime. Now, I'm not saying we're going to come down here, guys. We might. That's why I'm still holding the dang short trade, all right? Look, I'm leaving so much of this profit on the table. I have $128,000 on the trade. Right now, I could close this thing for a $15,000 profit. But I'm not, in case we get lower, all right? Because there's a real chance that if we lose our first major area of support around that 38K, and then we just come all the way back down to retest this massive support resistance flip going all the way back to January 2021. All right, it's a very big level. And because we're back inside the old range, the way volume theory works, right? This volume profile that we have right over here, the way this thing works is if the price loses the fair value zone, as we did, and then gets to move back inside the fair value zone as we did, it's more probable than not that we come to the high of the fair value zone. However, that doesn't mean we can't get a backtest and then come to the high of the fair value zone. If we get a backtest, this is now what's most probable, which means we could potentially be looking to long Bitcoin from around that $31.5 thousand level and look to take profits at the high of this range, which is a 50% pump. Another 50% move to the upside. This is kind of what I hope for. Because right now, if I was looking for a swing long trade, what am I going to do? Like really, what swing trade could you enter right now? Something like this. This would be actually the only opportunity we have right now is this. Okay, and this is not necessarily a bad trade if you're using good risk management. We put the stop loss under the last low that we made here, right? This is the only option, but for me, this is not good. Well, I guess I'm in that trade right now, huh? So I guess it is good. But no, I've been compounding this trade along the way up. That's how I'm in the trade. I've been compounding this along the way up. Looking for a new fresh trade, right? I would really want to give back all of this. Everybody who's been irresponsibly longing, including myself, get them out, and then we can look for this, right? And by the time this happens, who knows? We might be going right into the Bitcoin halving, right? Might be going right into the dang Bitcoin halving. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 1,000 people in here. Guys, we have 7 minutes to do a $1,000 giveaway. I'm going to say it. Guys, I'm literally going to give away $1,000 if you like the video. But you have to do it in the next 7 minutes. Otherwise, you miss the opportunity. So let's go, baby. Shout out to Splashfire Films. Shout out to Wolfman 8 My Crypto. Shout out to George Escobar. Shout out to Mama Jedi. Shout out to Pineapple Love. CMA Gap first or 31K, then upside down, then upside unless something else happens. I kind of agree. Shout out to Crypto Carnage. Shout out to Crypto Coons. Shout out to Nathan Coates. Shout out to Terpene Hunter. Shout out to Behose with the hand purple blue peace sign, blue peace sign. Alright. We got some people up in here. Man, God bless you all. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. What's my favorite centralized exchange? For trading Bitcoin and altcoins, definitely MEXC, man. Definitely MEXC. Definitely MEXC. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at some other assets here too. All right, so first of all, guys, I do want to say that I am bullish on the S&P 500. All right, I am looking for new highs on SPX. Let's take a quick look at the chart. Still holding the dang long trade from the setup that we gave on October 30th. What a beautiful swing long trade that is. Of course, I've taken the majority of the position out. But look, I think we can hit a new high. We saw NASDAQ hit a new high. We saw the Dow Jones hit a new high. I think we can see SPX also hit the new high. And look, when we take a look at good old Market Cipher B, all right, when we take a look at good old Market Cipher B, let's get on Market Cipher. Let's get around. Boom. All right, when we take a look at good old Market Cipher B, we can see that if we do make another high here, on the weekly time frame, we are going to be printing an extremely bearish divergence. Okay, we are going to be printing big time, even on the monthly. Man, on the monthly, we could really be printing an extremely bearish divergence. We are seeing the money flow coming out of this thing like this. We are seeing the momentum waves get lower like this. This really could be a very significant top signal, especially if we pump, take the level, and then lose the level, right? This could be a massive kind of liquidity grab, right? It might not be. It might not be. We need to play it by ear. But what I'm looking for right now, yes, I have my next take profit at that high, but I am looking for us to come up, take the high, lose the high. Once we lose it, I'm going to be looking for a short entry on some kind of a retest, right? I think we could really get a big retest. Look at the daily, man, bearish divergences out the wazoo. Money flow getting lower. I mean, when was the last time we really saw something like this? I mean, really, the last time we saw something similar to this was back here, January 2022. Money flow getting lower, momentum waves getting lower. Man. So that's my thoughts on the SPX. I'm still looking for higher. I'm still bullish on it. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Man. So here's the thing. NASDAQ right now did take the high, but we have not seen the loss of that level. We have not been able to close the daily candle below that level. So if SPX does this, guess what? We hodl on for higher. All right? We hodl on for higher. Now here's what the dollar's doing right now. Dollar's coming down back into our zone of support, starting to print some bullish divergences here, which honestly, if we see the dollar get another little bounce from this box, that could be the end of this rally for a lot of things. All right, so keep your eyes on the dollar. Keep your eyes specifically, I'm looking at 101.238 on the DXY. 101.238 on the DXY. All right, how's Bitcoin doing? I hope she gets a massive pump on this Monday. All right, let's take a look at some other altcoins here, guys. What coins should we look at? Let me know in the chat what coins we should be looking at right now. Shout out to Sudeep in the chat. Shout out to Splashfire Films in the chat. Pineapple Love says, don't be a fool, 39K is coming. How many percent Bitcoin did I sell? I sold 30% of my spot Bitcoin coin. But here's the thing. If you're going to be selling your Bitcoin, all right, you got to make sure you have a plan. Shout out to Divine Hood. You got to make sure you have a plan to sell your Bitcoin. Like you need to make sure that you know why you're selling your Bitcoin. Whether you're trading or long-term investing, you can't just go into it and say, yeah, I'm just going to hold it forever. I mean, I guess you can do that, but you have to have a goal in mind. Like, my goal is I want to buy a piece of property, or I want to do this with the money. Like, otherwise you're just going to watch your portfolio go up and down. The reason I sold 30% of my Bitcoin is because personal things that happened to me in my life put me in a position where I wanted to sell that Bitcoin because I want to install fencing for my goats, right? That's a big project. So for me, the fencing is worth more than the Bitcoin at this time in my life, because goats will give me red meat and dairy where I can produce it on my own property, right? So I'm not just selling because I think Bitcoin's going down. It might go down, but overall I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, right? All right, we're gonna check out INJ for my man, Divine Hood. All right, INJ, injective. Man, look at this thing pumping like a wild lady in distress, looking like Janet Yellen running through the jungle with the laundry basket on her head with the toned abs. Man, Janet Yellen, I know you guys are thinking, dude, that's not really Janet Yellen. No, it really is her. All right, let's take a look. Let's see here. Okay, so this thing is insanely pumping. Let's see if we can get onto a different exchange here. Man, this is crazy. Okay, so this thing could still pump. Last time we formed a range. Okay, so let me preface this by saying the following. Altcoins that have already gotten a move like this, a 400% move to the upside, we have to take it more speculatively, saying we're assuming the trend is going to continue, but we have to understand that we could always be buying the top, right? I'm not a big fan of buying coins after a 400% move. Maybe a leverage trade if we can get a nice entry on a low time frame. So for me, this is definitely a no buy zone on spot. I'm just being real, right? If you haven't been accumulating your altcoins during the bear market, don't be frustrated when they pump without you. Like, that's the bottom line, right? So look, last time we got a big pump and then we started to form a sideways range. All right, the sideways range is where we look for our next trade, okay? The way we mark out the sideways range is we mark the high of the range and then we mark the low of the range. So we make that first high, then we make that first low. This is now going to be the structure of our range, okay? Now, the best trades to take are going to be, number one, when we take out that first low. This is where we should be looking for our first long trade. After a bullish move to the upside, once you make your high and you make your low, you look for price to dip below the low and then come back above, and that gives you a long entry, like this, right? Stop loss below the low, you target the high, and then of course a new high, right? Now the second opportunity we would have is after we take that low, you want to see price come down for a retrace in between the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. This will now give you your second opportunity to get a long trade targeting a new high, right? So let's see if we can find something like that in our current range, right? Because we know that we've gotten a big pump and now we're starting to range again. So we mark out the high, we mark out the low. This is now going to be the structure in which we look for our trades. Now you could say we've already taken the low, all right? You could say that we've already taken the low here and gotten the move to the upside. So if that's the case, then what do? If we've already taken the low and we've gotten a move to the upside, now we take the Fibonacci golden pocket from the low to this high that we just made today, and we say, okay, now if the price comes back down to around $30.23, we can look for a long from this zone to take it to a new high, right? This would be a potential day trade I would take, like a leveraged trade. I mean, I guess if you want to buy on spot, I don't. I'm just a big fan of futures trading. So for me, I don't like spot plays for small moves. I guess this is not a small move. That's 30%. I like doing it on margin. I like doing it on margin for this type of stuff. But to each their own. To each their own. Okay? This is one opportunity here. Another opportunity would still be... Oh, now here's something else. I need to say this. If the high is not in, be watching for this. Be watching for us to take this high and then get a move back to the downside. If that happens, make sure you're pulling your golden pocket to line up with that new high so that you're ready for the retrace. All right. That is one opportunity to get long on INJ. We have no signs of weakness on this chart. There's nothing indicating, honestly, to me, that the top is in as far as market structure goes, right? We have a long way to go before we make a lower high on this chart. So yeah, I would be looking at the golden pocket, or if we go to the daily time frame, you could say we have not yet taken the low, right? And then we could be looking for a move down below 28,377 and a quick bounce above. Those would be like the 3 long trades that I would be looking to take on this thing here, right? On this thing here. Let's go ahead and pull one more Fibonacci from the low to the high. Okay, so I would actually prefer, guys, to take this low. I would prefer to take the low at 28,377 because we have the local Fibonacci retest from the last low to the current high just underneath here. So an ideal situation for me would be to dip down below our current range low into the Fibonacci golden pocket. And if we do that, you could see that we would be getting some really nice bullish divergences on market cipher B, right? From this last low that we made here, we would be making most likely a higher low, and also money flow getting higher, giving us the bullish, the Sam Bankman-Fried bullish man boot pattern, okay? Let's just double check here, make sure, yeah, yep, yeah, yep, yeah, yep. You guys liking this? Put a 1 in the chat if you like this. All right. It looks good. I think it looks good. All right. Now INJ. We're basically, as far as being on MEXC and a lot of these exchanges, we're in like a kind of like a price discovery mode. Let's see about some targets. All right, let's take it from this last low, that last big impulse. We'll use the Fibonacci extension tool. Low to the high to the low. Wow. Okay, so would you look at this, guys? We literally hit that 1618 to the dang dollar, to the exact nanocent to 1.618 Fibonacci extension. And so for me, the next target would be the 2 to 2. Let's put on our 2. That would be our next fib target around 39. But really the 2618 is not out of the question then at $47. Wow. Let's go ahead and pull another fresh extension here from this last low to the high. And let's see if we do come down to the golden pocket. Our 1-to-1 is $48. Yeah, that makes sense. Our 1-to-1 is $48. All right, so remember that level, because if we pulled it from here, yeah, that's right around our 2618 is right around that zone as well. It's very interesting. Yeah, so we very well may see a move up to around that zone. We might be able to get into a long like this up to around $45. That's a 12-to-1 risk reward. That's a 60% gain. Okay. Speculative, guys. Speculative. Remember, this whole thing is prefaced upon the fact that when you witness an altcoin getting 400% move to the upside, you have to think to yourself, I could be buying the top, right? When we are longing the highs, we need to do it understanding we could be buying the top. This is why when I am accumulating Bitcoin and altcoins, I'm doing it when things are in the red. This is why 1 year ago, I was aggressively buying Bitcoin as much as I possibly could, under $20,000, and altcoins that I was interested in, aggressively buying and stacking. because now is not the time to be aggressively buying and stacking. What's Bitcoin doing right now? She's trying to get a little bit of a move here. The only thing you should be aggressively buying and stacking is things that haven't broken out yet, right? Things that have not broken out yet. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Aaron G. Shout out to Brandon Keys. We'll look at ICP for my man J-Boy Bullish, all right? And for my man Brandon Keys. Yeah, all right. Let's check out ICP. We'll look at Insane Clown Posse, Internet Coin Protocol. Wow, well, this is kind of what we were looking at yesterday, guys. This is the idea we were looking at yesterday. Okay, so same deal like ICP, right? ICP broke out of the wedge. We broke out of the wedge, guys. This falling wedge, very bullish pattern. Again, look. If you are not have not been like J-Boy Bullish has been bullish on ICP for months. All right, he right now is up 336%. If you're just right now getting interested in ICP, you missed the boat, right? At the very least, this is the time to be getting into it, saying, okay, we're breaking out. Here we go. Let me just go in, right? If you're really into the asset, you're accumulating in the range here, right? But now it's like, look, if we're looking for longs here, we have to understand we are buying high, okay? We're buying high. It is what it is. That's the bull run dilemma. It works until all of a sudden it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying we're in a bull run. I'm saying Bitcoin is coming up to areas of resistance where we could expect a big pullback for the crypto market soon. And we've just seen altcoins pump hundreds, some thousands of %. Could we see higher? Of course. But buying things after hundreds and thousands % gain, that's not the best investment idea in the world, because you'll lose more often than you win doing that. So look, in a very bullish scenario, what we would want to see here is potentially a breakout and a bull flag form, okay? If the bull flag forms, in very bullish scenarios, we look down to the 382 Fibonacci, which is coming in around $8.25-30, right? The 382 Fibonacci is basically retesting this last high that we made in the wedge. All right, so we want to see something like this, right? We want to see consolidation here, and we want to see a sideways range form in somewhat of a bull flag shape, okay? Just like what we talked about with INJ, right? Just like what we talked about with INJ. We want to see a sideways range form. We want to mark the low of the range. And then we want to range in here for a little bit. We want to take the low. And then maybe come back down for the retest and break out. All right, that's what we want to see. And we want that to happen around the 382 level, around $8.30. All right, we put back on our bull flag, right? It looks like this, roughly, right? And we target this level here, $16.45. Why $16.45? Because $16.45 is, if we put on our visible range volume profile, it is a big spike in volume, as you can clearly see. I don't think we've ever seen. Oh, there we go. Did you see that glitch right there? All right, yeah. Oh my goodness, wow, yeah, look at that high volume node right there, wow. All right, this is glitching out, man. This is glitching out. What the heck? All right, let's remove that visible range volume profile. Let's put on something else to illustrate the same point. All right, look at this here. See the spike in volume right here? It's hard to see, but right on the white line, see how that volume profile all of a sudden gets higher out of nowhere? That means that is a high volume node. That's our next area of resistance. We see a low volume void right here, a volume gap in between the prices of $11 and about $16.45. Meaning if we do break out of that bull flag, we are going to get sucked up like a vacuum, like those things at the bank when you were a kid and your mom would go and write a check and the bank lady would give you a lollipop, okay? If we turn the chart upside down, all right, if we invert the chart and we break out of this upside down bull flag, it's going to be like plunging it down the toilet. It's going to get sucked down, pushed down the toilet bowl. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You guys get it. You guys get it. All right? Y'all get it. I know. I get it too. Well, back to regular scale. Shout out to Joe Potter. Shout out to Joe Potter again. Shout out to Jake Koff. He says Celo is a sleeper. All right. Let's check out Celo. J-Boy Bullish sold AVAX. LOL. What else did you sell, J-Boy Bullish? J-Boy Bullish. Let's see. You sold ICP. Nice, man. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish selling ICP. J-Boy Bullish, he was into the asset. Shout out to Brandon Keys. He bought around $3. All right. All right. So, let's check out. Let's turn this thing off. All right, let's check out some other assets here. Give me some sleeper ones, guys. Give me some sleeper ones. Someone said CELO. All right, CELO. Let's check out Celo. CELO. All right, now this is the kind of coin. This is what we should be looking at, guys, right? These are the kind of coins where, yeah, okay, so this is what you want to see, right? This is a very sloppy wedge. One might not even call it a wedge, right? But nonetheless, still kind of a rising wedge. Now, here's the thing. This, in my opinion, let's take a look at the daily. We got bullish divergences on the daily time frame at these lows. We got another bullish divergence on the daily at this low. And we are breaking out of a wedge. All right, let's put it on log scale. Okay, so we're breaking out of a wedge, right? So at the very least, we could say, look, if you're bullish on this, if you think this is going to run, we know that we're not buying the top of a 300% gain. In fact, we could even say if this is a real breakout, we could be looking at something like this for a spot play. For a spot play, right? Not for a leverage trade, but for a spot play. We could say, you know what? We're breaking out the wedge. You know, we accumulate as long as we don't change market structure here. And we target the top of the wedge right around this support resistance flip for a 100% gain, right? That's not a bad move right there. That's not a bad move, honestly. Support resistance flip at the top of the wedge around a 100% gain, right? Now, again, why would we do this? Well, because we've seen bullish divergences at the low of a bullish pattern, and now we're breaking out of resistance. Let's real quick check out the Celo Bitcoin pair. All right, so the Celo Bitcoin pair. Okay, so the Celo Bitcoin pair is not breaking out of the wedge. So for an ultra bullish breakout buy on this, I always like to see the Bitcoin pair and the USDT pair showing the same kind of breakout, because we want it to outperform Bitcoin, right? We don't want it to underperform Bitcoin. We don't want our altcoin to underperform Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin is ranging and we're expecting altcoins to pump, we want our altcoins to be outperforming Bitcoin. So ideally, we would want to see the Bitcoin pair breaking out of its wedge as well. And then we could say we have a breakout on both pairs. Now we could shoot for some highs. On the USDT pair, you know, I'd say we have some pretty nice targets on it. At least to the support resistance flip at the top of this wedge. And then obviously we can shoot for our next level right around $2 for potential 250% gain on it. Right? So let's see if we can't find some kind of a local entry here. We'll go to the 1 hour. Pull our fib from low to high. We already got the bounce from the golden pocket. This does look pretty bullish. I'll be honest, it does look bullish. Let's go to the Bitcoin pair again. Let's pull our fib low to high. Okay, you know what? You could say, because we're finding support on the golden pocket on the Bitcoin pair, and because we're also finding support on the Bitcoin, on the USDT pair, golden pocket, and breaking out, that this is a strong looking asset, guys. This is a strong looking asset that has not run yet. Alright, has not run yet. Now, I don't know much about the cello. I don't play. Didn't play it in high school. I knew some people who played it. Alright, you might want to consult with Yo-Yo Ma or something like that. Yeah, J-Boy Bush is here to make money, man. He's not here to watch the number go up and down, baby. He's not here just to watch the number go up and down. Can we look at Ripple? Is Ripple still a thing? Do people still like Ripple? I'll take a quick look at Ripple, and if I don't like what I see, I'm gonna close the chart. Hang on. Let me get back to my actual Bitcoin chart real quick here. Alright, Ripple. Repole. Alright, okay. Ripple has gotten a CDW of this low. This is the 1 hour time frame here. Let's go to the daily. Look, here's the thing, guys. Ripple is gonna pump. Alright, Ripple is gonna pump. If you're bullish on Ripple, you should have already had some Ripple. Because yeah, of course Ripple's gonna pump in the bull market, 100%. Ripple is gonna pump for certain, 100%. When we look at what we see here, I mean, this is just the weekly time frame. We can see that we absolutely do have a lot of upward potential. Like, we have a lot of upward potential on Ripple right now. If we're gonna hit the previous all-time high and make a new high on Ripple, the gains definitely could happen. However, I do have to be honest and say, oh man, I mean, this does kind of look like a bear flag when we zoom out on the weekly time frame. It doesn't necessarily look too bullish, right? Maybe we would want to wait for a retest or something. I'm just looking at the weekly. We have not seen much movement on Ripple lately, right? I mean, it's been, besides the fake news, that big move to the upside is the fake news that the SEC or that Ripple one. I don't remember. I don't pay attention to the news. But all right, let's go to the daily. Let's just kind of make a little bit of a parallel channel here. Let's connect some of these highs. Hang on, I don't know how to use a computer. Alright. Let's see here. Just gonna see like what we possibly could have. Okay, alright, okay, so we are breaking out of that trend line. Yeah, the real problem with Ripple right now, guys, is like we don't have a nice structure to trade off of, right? We don't have a nice structure to trade off of. You could say that this was a nice higher high in an uptrend, but now we haven't made a lower low and we haven't made a higher high. So we have like no trend going on right now. We're just hanging out in no man's land. I don't see a good move for Ripple besides saying that if you're bullish on Ripple in general, you should have been accumulating Ripple all throughout the bear market, right? And maybe even still accumulating now, but obviously buying Ripple at 30 cents is way better than buying Ripple at 60 cents. But we do have to assume, even if we come down to test the lows again, which we very well may, if we're going to hit all-time high, we are talking about 200% gains. If we, let's say, see a $3 Ripple in this next bull market, then we are talking about 400% gains. So all in all, I look at Ripple as one of those coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum. It's like, if you're stacking it for the long term, great. We can't expect to make life-changing money on it. So day trading it is probably better. You could definitely make more money on Ripple day trading it. All right, let's check out AVAX. Let's check out AVAX, pumping like crazy. Wow, okay, so AVAX is broken out. Now, I want to show you guys something crazy, all right? I don't know if y'all remember this, but last time we did TI on AVAX, all right, live on this YouTube channel, this is why you got to subscribe to the dang channel. We gave this level 44.58, that daily order block from May 2022, that this was our next target for AVAX, and would you look at that? We came up there, and we got a 20% rejection from that level. Bam. Almost a 20%, 19% move down from that level. Okay, so AVAX is pumping like a wild lady. And again, also guys, if you've been following the dang channel, subscribed, watching the streams, we were looking at this level right here, this area of resistance, saying when we got that first breakout, we were looking to come back down and test the support that we made from this last local low right on that golden pocket, which we did. All right, so in advance, we gave this bounce and this rejection on AVAX. So now we're going to give the next major pivot, because that's what we do on the Jason Casper YouTube channel some of the time. 30% of the time, we're right 100% of the time. All right, so yeah, obviously this is super bullish. So $30, $31, guys, it's our fib 382, and it's our support resistance flip. Not really anything with volume there. But if we're going to be super bullish with AVAX, like super bullish, then that is the place where we would look. Yeah, not only that, look at this. We have all this liquidity here to be taken. So yeah, I would be interested in that support resistance flip around $31. Basically come down like this, get the fake out, and then break out again. Of course, we have to be aware that if we do this, we could also do this. Right? So this is definitely a place for me to look for a long trade. But then we do need to be aware that once we make a lower low, we need to at least take a profit at the golden pocket retest, because that could be where we continue in the downtrend, right? Very similar to what's happening with Bitcoin right now, right? Bitcoin, it took the lows, right? It got to move up into the golden pocket. That needed to be a take profit one on the long, because the fact that we rejected here means we could now change market structure and come down even lower. However, we might not, right? We might break out again. So if we're going to be looking for an AVAX long upon taking the lows, we need to be aware TP1 here will probably do something. If it's in a bullish scenario, we'll do something like this, right? In a bullish scenario, we will do something like this. In a bearish scenario, we will come down lower. That's how we roll. Shout out to Petre 2T. Jay, can you chart Bitcoin USD against the ES? Oh no. Jay boy bullish. I hate when that happens. That's happened to me many times, man. That's the worst, bro. Alright. Let's see. Sure. Bitcoin USD against the ES. I don't really know how to do that. Wait, hang on. That's super interesting, though. I'm not sure how to do that, man. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but that's super interesting. My opinion on area. Let's check out area. All right, area. Well, we're ranging and we're at the low of the range. So if this range will continue, this means we're probably going to come back to the top of the range, which means we have potential gains of like 78%. The only thing I would say is that every time we make a high, we make a lower high. But this is pretty much support all the way around. So, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know anything about area, but we could look for, yeah, like a 50% gain to the top of this little thing here. It looks like we're hitting into the Fibonacci golden pockets as well. So, bear that in mind. Every single time we get the retest, we hit into the golden pocket 786 zone. So, we could be looking for a move up to around, yeah, I'd say like a 45 to 50% move to the upside is probable on this thing, right? Just based on this pattern repeating, right? I don't really know anything about area. You change the USD or the USDT at the top right of the chart, whatever you want to measure against. Shout out to R. Schwartz ATX. All right, at the top right of the chart. Oh, interesting, man. All right, let's do it. Bitcoin against the ES. Didn't even know this was a thing, man. can't. I guess I still don't know how to do it, guys. I'm sorry. Can we check Dash? Yeah, we'll check out Dash. You know, Dash takes me back to like the 2017 bull run. Everyone was everyone was into Dash. Let's check out Dash. Dash looks pretty good, guys. Dash looks like a good buy, a good spot buy right now. This is log scale, which basically means when we break this, we could look to hit a $400 again. No signs of strength, right? No signs of strength. So, like, for a spot buy, it's like... For a spot buy, look, I mean... I think Dash is going to pump again. 25% potential downside to make a new low. We took the low from 2020. That's crazy. We took the low from 2020. I mean, we're literally at that 2020 low right now. I mean, buying Dash now is like buying the exact bottom during the March 2020 dump. If this thing's going to pump again, then this is a good time to be accumulating Dash. That's all I can say. Right? We don't really have any real signs of strength yet. I mean, maybe you could say it's a breakout, looks pretty weak, but you know, on the log scale, once this thing does break, it's gonna move, I would say. You know, yeah, no real signs of strength on this thing yet. We're still making lower lows and lower highs the whole way, but definitely we're seeing money flow start to tick up on the daily. Weekly bullish divergence. This to me is extremely bullish looking, guys. This to me looks like a really good spot buy and hold. Not financial advice. Alright, not financial advice. There's a guy on YouTube with a plunger on his face. Treadmill. Backwards hat. Tank top. Sweaty. And all that stuff. Alright. I like Dash. It looks good. I think it looks good. Shout out to Crypto Carnage. God bless you, man. Bitcoin short? Let's see. I don't know. I was personally not really interested in trading Bitcoin today at all. And I haven't traded Bitcoin today. I'm either waiting for lower or for higher on Bitcoin. But if we do come back into the triangle, I think we are going to get a bigger move to the upside. If we reject here, I expect to come down to 38 or below. Area, Dash, these could be good spot buys, honestly. Dash especially. I mean, Dash right now, you could not get any cheaper than this. You could not get any cheaper than this. Is it a used plunger? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I use it all the time. There's a weekly red dot on Dash. Yeah, there's a weekly red dot on Dash. But, I mean, at this point, with such low volatility, man, I'd say that the fact that the money flow is getting higher here and that we have bullish divergences outweighs the weekly red dot on Dash. EOS. Oh man, let's check out EOS. Man, you know what? You guys want to know something really sad? I'll have to tell you my EOS story. So, guys, this morning I longed EOS from the Golden Pocket retest because we were looking at this yesterday on the stream. I went to set some take profits, and I put the price that I want to take profit, and I hit flash close instead of close long, and I ended up closing the trade very early for a $500 profit. But it could have been a much juicier profit, guys. But it is what it is. You win and you lose. I mean, literally. In this case, I won and lost at the same time. But let's take a look at EOS. Victoria says you should be a lawyer. You answer, yet you don't know. Yeah, so Victoria W, if you're new to the channel, I don't know anything about what price is going to do. That's not how I trade. The way I trade is I mark out areas where I'm interested in a trade, and then if my trade setup happens, then I take the trade. But I'm not the kind of guy who like comes to the chart and says, oh, I think we're going to go up from here, or I think we're going to go down from here, so I'm going to take a trade. I don't do that. I don't do that. Some people do that. I don't know how they do that. I don't do that, right? I make plans in advance. So for me, basically, if Bitcoin comes up to here, around this area, I'm going to be looking for a short trade. And if Bitcoin comes down to around this area here, I'm going to be looking for a long trade. But until then, I'm not interested, and I don't care, and I don't even know what's going to happen. That's how I trade. That's how we get the juiciest trade entries in the Casper crew, right? That's why I'm short from the exact top, because I had a plan that said if the price does this, then I'll take a short. But I'm not here to make predictions. I'm here to take setups as they come and then lock in a profit and then move the stop loss to the entry. People who make predictions, man, they got a 50-50 on it. So yeah, I don't know. I literally don't know. And I'll tell you that. I don't know. I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do right now. I'm equally as bullish as I am bearish right now on Bitcoin. I have no idea. And how can anyone say that they know? Right? We have equally as number right now of bullish signs as we do bearish signs, in my opinion. If anything, like the bearish sign is that we have changed into bearish market structure on the lower time frames, and we backtested the golden pocket. That's bearish. All right. The bullish sign is that we're making higher lows with extremely bullish CVD divergences. That's bullish, right? But we're trading sideways, and until we get more of a follow through, we can't really have a plan to trade this thing locally. At least not the way I trade. Not the way I trade. So if you want a prediction, check out Carl from the Moon's channel. He makes predictions a lot. And I like Carl from the Moon. Shout out to Carl from the Moon, because me and him do have a movie coming out very soon about me and him driving to McDonald's in his Bugatti.
Hello.
Well, that didn't work out as I planned. I had a video about it, but it looks like my video didn't work. Oh man. Alright, what are we looking at now? EOS. Alright. Well, look, do we have a buy on EOS? Look, let me remove some of this stuff here. EOS right now is, in fact, I would say we are breaking out of this wedge. Alright, so this is a bullish. Right, we are breaking out of the wedge. This is bullish. And yesterday, if you guys were watching, I was interested in buying if we took this low and also came down to basically this area in between the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. Alright, so we did come down to the golden pocket, and we are getting a little bit of a bounce from it, albeit a not so strong bounce. Alright, but we also want to see bullish divergences. We are seeing bullish divergences right now on the 4-hour time frame. This could be a really nice move for EOS. However, if we come lower here, we still are, in my opinion, breaking out and looking for a retest of this area. We could even pull it down to this last low and look for the actual trend line retest. But yeah, I agree. I'm bullish on EOS. We're breaking out of a falling wedge pattern, which is a bullish pattern. And yeah, this thing could really pump. I mean, this thing could really, really pump. So, be looking for longs on it. That's all I can say. Let's check out the EOS Bitcoin pair real quick. Yeah, so EOS Bitcoin pair is also coming down to the golden pocket 786. Be watching the Bitcoin pair, because if the Bitcoin pair bounces from here, that's really where we could also see the USDT pair get its bounce from one of those key levels as well. All right, shout out to Divine Hood. He says ENJ. He says ENJ. ENJ. Let's check it out. Let's check out ENJ. Why don't I jump back in? The reason I don't jump back in on my EOS idea is because I'm leverage trading it. So, therefore, where's my stop loss going to be now? I mean, the amount of money that I had on the trade, if I would have to put my stop loss under that golden pocket retest right now. Oh my goodness. I mean, I was in a 15x leverage trade, so I would be losing thousands. And so, yeah, I'm not down for it. I'm not down for it. You know, when I bounced the golden pocket, my stop loss was under the golden pocket, so I was risking very little. So I need to wait for another good entry. I'm buying resistance here. I'm not saying it can't run. I'm not saying I can't do something like this. It's just I don't want to do something like this. I just don't want to. I'll wait for another setup, you know? But you do you. I mean, look, you do you. You know, everyone does what they want to do with their own money. Alright, so ENJ. Eng. It's a gaming ecosystem. Alright, this one looks really nice too. Oh man, breaking out of the resistance as well. Breaking out of the wedge. I'd say our next target is 83 cents. We're talking about gains of about 170%. That's nice. So we're breaking the wedge. Massively bullish divergence on the daily time frame here. Money flow crossing to the upside. No bearish divs on the daily. Money flow thick. Retesting the trend line. Man, this might be a good spot buy. We're bouncing from the dang golden pocket. That's nice. I'll be honest, that's nice. ENJ looking nice. Oh my goodness, ENJ looking super nice. So like, this is pretty obvious that as long as we don't lose the high volume node, we're probably going to value area high for a 50% gain. And I'd say because we've broken out the wedge, we go higher. This is a juicy looking spot buy in my opinion. And I mean, or a leverage trade, honestly. I mean, like, I'm not looking at these lower time. I'm on the daily, right? So look, I'm on the daily, so I don't know what's happening on the lower time frames now. But I would say this. Depending on how we draw this, we might not be breaking out, okay? So a really nice play on this would be the following. Like, an insanely good buy would be to come back down to here, because that's value area low, and we'd be making even more bullish divergences. That would be insane. That would be a beautiful, beautiful move right there. So if we draw the line a little bit differently here, just connecting these highs, then you could say we're breaking out and retesting. So there's two ways to look at this. So really, I mean, there's two trades to be had here. Trade number one is this right here. And, you know, the invalidation is pretty simple. I mean, it's, if we lose that point of control, we should be out of the trade. And we're risking 1% to make 34% on this trade right here. I mean, that's a 34-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So if you're risking 1% of your stack on this trade, you're going to make 34%. If that gets stopped out and you lose 1%, then we wait for that second entry, which means we're risking 1% to make 40%. So if we take both of the trades, the first one loses, the second one wins, we're a net, you know, 30. What just happened? Huh. That's weird. Yeah, we'd be net 30-something% right there. Not bad. I like this thing. Engine. Not to be confused with Inge. Inge and Eng are two separate things. Inge and Eng are two separate things. Alright, who else we got in the chat here? Mario de Meyer, SATS. Matthew says, I see slippage on Eng, Coinbase chart, and Binance chart. Does that change anything? No, I mean, not really. Not if we're looking to spot hold it. Not really. J-Boy Bullish says 12-minute bear dip going to front run our level. What are we talking about? Talking about Bitcoin or Eng? It has good fundamentals, says Divine Hood. Shout out to Crypto Poyo. He says, what are your thoughts on ILV? It hit 1900 in the last cycle, but scooping up on under 100. Huh. You took a 14x leverage trade? Well, let's check it out, Crypto Poyo. Let's check out ILV. Wow, I mean, it has a lot of upward potential, I'd say. And look, this is a sign of strength on this chart here. I mean, this is a bullish looking chart right now, I would say, just based on the fact that we had this kind of diagonal resistance and we've broken out. So I don't know, like, as far as like leverage trading goes, like I would take profit if you're in profit, because obviously leverage trades, have like a different scope than spot buys, right? But overall, this looks like a bullish chart, and now we're forming a range. I would honestly be interested of taking the lows of the range. So where are you long from? You're long from at 85 bucks. Well, I'm on the daily. Let me go to the... Is it because we took this low right here? Yeah, I mean, I would make sure you lock in profits. That's the way I trade. I would say money flow doesn't look super bullish on the 1 hour. I do see some bullish dips on the 24-minute. I don't really see too much bull div on the 1 hour here. 12-minute looks pretty nice. 12-minute looks good, actually. 12-minute looks good. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I could see why. All right, so I mean, this would be like a good target, I would say, like the fib level, because honestly, these highs do look like crappy, right? The only thing I don't like right now is this 12-minute bear div. But look, I can't really say what to do. I don't know like where your stop loss is, and I don't know your position size. So like, if your stop loss is under the low, you know, if we shoot for the 4-to-1 risk reward and we take half the trade out, that's a 2-to-1, which is really nice. It's like a 2% gain. If your stop loss is under this low, then man, you could take profits in like a little bit. If we just go for this next high, you could take profits 50% of the trade out and still make 2%. That's a 4-to-1. So I don't really know what your situation is here, Crypto Pollo, but I would say it definitely looks like a good scalp entry that you got there on the lower time frame. It's definitely bullish. There's definitely room for more upside. Not financial advice. All right, y'all. I'm going to head out. It's been a good stream, guys. An hour and a half. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Even if you're not religious, I do pray God blesses you. May the Lord bless you. May He protect you. May He shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. And may the Lord turn His face towards you and give you wholeness. In Jesus' name. And I will see everybody in the next stream. Peace.